Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to, cut through all that information overload and give you some real clarity, some insights that actually stick.
Yeah, there's just so much out there, isn't there? Books, articles, everyone promising secrets.
Exactly. It's tough to know what's really valuable. So today we're diving deep into a source that's influenced millions. I mean, it still shapes how people think about success.
Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
That's the one. Principles of success. And, don't get stuck on the title.
Right.
It's not just about getting rich financially. Hill was really clear. This is a blueprint for success in, well, pretty much any part of your life.
Career, personal growth, relationship.
Yeah, all of it. It's about the mindset underneath.
And what makes this book so compelling is how it came about. It wasn't just some theory he dreamed up.
No, not at all.
He spent 25 years, a quarter of a century, really studying over 500 incredibly successful people from his time.
Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford,
Yeah.
people like that.
Exactly. He was looking for the common threads, the habits, the ways of thinking that they all shared, and he boiled it down to 13 core principles.
So it's like a shortcut based on decades of research into what actually works.
Pretty much a blueprint for achievement.
Okay, so our mission here is to unpack these 13 principles. We want to pull out the key ideas and, crucially, help you see how you can actually use them in your own life. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this. So we'll start where Hill starts, with the absolute foundations, the power of your thoughts, your beliefs.
Right.
Principle number 1, desire. He calls it the starting point of all achievement.
And he's not talking about just wanting something casually.
No, he really emphasizes it has to be a burning desire.
Yeah.
Something specific, a definite goal, and you've got to back it with total belief.
He even gives practical steps, doesn't he? Like writing it down.
Yeah. Create a definite plan, he says, and read your goal aloud daily, morning and night. It's about making it feel real, almost tangible in your mind.
That intensity, that burning desire, it naturally leads into the second principle, faith.
Which is the visualization and belief in attainment of desire.
Yeah, and this isn't passive wishing. Hill sees faith as something you actively cultivate. You build it.
How? Through affirmations.
Exactly. Affirmations, repeated self-suggestion. You have to convince yourself deep down that you deserve the success and visualize it like it's already happened.
So you're training your own mind to expect success.
You are. Relentlessly practicing that belief until it feels inevitable.
Which flows perfectly into principle 3, autosuggestion. This is the medium to influence the subconscious.
This is sort of where the practical application of desire and faith happens, right?
I think so. It's about taking those positive thoughts, those visualizations, and deliberately feeding them to your subconscious mind, day after day.
Hill compares the subconscious to fertile ground.
Right. Ready to grow whatever seeds you plant, good or bad. So the idea is you need to be intentional about planting seeds of success, belief, confidence.
Control the input, basically.
So thinking about that initial setup, desire, faith, autosuggestion, what do you think trips people up the most when they try to actually do this?
Good question. Maybe the consistency. That burning desire is one thing, but the daily practice of reinforcing faith and using autosuggestion, that takes real discipline. It's easy to want something, harder to do the mental work every single day.
I agree. It's the deliberate, almost ritualistic aspect Hill insists on. It's not a one-off thought. Okay, so we've set the mental stage. Now let's shift gears to the principles that demand action. Planning.
Getting practical.
Exactly. Principle 4, specialized knowledge, subtitled Personal Experiences or Observations.
And he makes a really important distinction here.
He does. He says, general knowledge is not power organized. Actionable knowledge is.
So it's not about being a trivia whiz.
Not at all. It's about continuously learning and, crucially, applying specific skills related to your main goal, your definite purpose. True power comes from using relevant knowledge effectively.
And once you have that knowledge, you need Principle 5, imagination, the workshop of the mind.
I love that phrase. He really believed success starts right there, in your imagination.
And he breaks it down to synthetic imagination.
Which is like rearranging existing ideas, putting old concepts together in new ways.
Right, and then there's creative imagination.
That's the more intuitive stuff, right?
Yeah.
Flashes of inspiration, insights that just arise.
Exactly. It highlights that breakthroughs often come from beyond just logical steps. You need to actively use your mind to explore possibilities.
Okay, so you've got the knowledge, you've used your imagination, now what?
Now you need Principle 6, organized planning, the crystallization of desire into action.
This is where it gets real. You take the desire, the knowledge, the ideas, and you build a concrete plan.
A practical, detailed plan, and then this is key. You start executing immediately. No waiting around.
And he'll give some really solid advice here about failure, doesn't he?
He does. He says if your plan fails, replace it with a better one, but never give up on the goal.
So the plan can change, adapt, even fail. But the desire, the goal, stays firm. It's about resilience.
Absolutely. Which requires Principle 7, decision. The mastery of procrastination.
Procrastination, the enemy of progress.
Hill observed that really successful people make decisions quickly and decisively. They don't waver endlessly.
Because indecision creates doubt.
Exactly. Indecision breeds doubt, and doubt leads to failure. Making a decision, even a small one, creates momentum. It's an act of commitment that cuts through the stagnation.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Because this next one, Principle 8, persistence. This is where so many people seem to fall off.
The sustained effort necessary to induce faith. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly hard.
Hill noted that most people just quit, like after the very first setback or failure.
Yeah. He says persistence isn't just something you have, it's something you build, like a muscle, powered by willpower and that burning desire we talked about.
The big insight here is that persistence changes how you see failure. It's not an endpoint, it's just feedback, data for your next, better plan.
And he has that killer quote.
Giving up is a habit, so is never quitting. Jills. It really frames it as a choice, a pattern you establish.
So if you tie these together, knowledge, imagination, planning, decision, persistence, what's the common trap people fall into when trying to make their desire real? How does Hill help avoid it?
I think the biggest trap is confusing a failed plan with a failed goal. People think, oh, that didn't work, guess I can't achieve my goal.
Right.
But Hill explicitly says, change the plan, adapt the strategy, but keep the objective firmly in sight. Persistence applies to the goal. Flexibility applies to the plan.
That's a powerful distinction.
Okay, so far we've focused a lot on the individual's mindset and actions, but Hill also goes broader.
Right, into collaboration and some deeper concepts.
Starting with Principle 9, power the mastermind, the driving force.
This is about teamwork, essentially.
Yeah, but more than just teamwork. He defines it as a friendly alliance with others working toward a common purpose.
Synergy.
Two heads are better than one kind of thing. Exactly, but amplified. Hill believed that when minds collaborate in harmony, they create a collective intelligence, a power far greater than any single individual could achieve alone.
Collective genius. Makes sense.
Then comes Principle 10, which sometimes makes people pause. The mystery of sex transmutation.
Yeah, the name definitely catches attention.
It does. But the core idea is actually quite profound if you look past the label. Hill argues that sexual energy is an incredibly powerful creative force.
Our most powerful drive, perhaps.
Right, and he suggests that this energy can be consciously redirected or transmuted into other channels like ambition, creativity, drive for your goals.
So it's about harnessing that powerful emotional energy and focusing it.
Exactly. He noticed many highly successful people seem to channel this intense energy into their work, their art, their ambitions. Think of it like focusing a powerful current.
Interesting way to frame it. Less literal, more about channeling intense drive.
Precisely. Okay, Principle 11 brings us back to something we touched on earlier, the subconscious mind. He calls it the connecting link.
Reinforcing its importance.
Absolutely. He hammers home that your subconscious is constantly recording everything, positive or negative, and acting on it. It's the engine driving your actions.
So you have to be deliberate about what you feed it.
Constantly. Feed it faith, clear goals, positive affirmations, make sure it's working for you, not secretly undermining you. It's like setting your internal autopilot.
Which ties into Principle 12, the brain, described as a broadcasting and receiving station for thought.
This is where it gets a bit more metaphysical, maybe.
A little. He uses this analogy of the brain being like a radio. It can send out thoughts, but it can also receive thoughts or ideas.
Somewhere.
He talks about connecting with infinite intelligence, like a universal source of knowledge or creativity. The key is tuning in with the right frequency, which he says is belief combined with emotion.
So our minds aren't just isolated processors.
According to Hill, no. They're active participants in a larger field. Many breakthroughs, he suggests, come from tapping into this connection, not just from linear thinking.
Okay, that leads us to the final one, Principle 13. The sixth sense, the door to the temple of wisdom.
This sounds like intuition.
Very much so. Hill describes it as a higher level of awareness that kicks in after you've really mastered and applied the other 12 principles.
So it's something that develops.
Yeah, it's not step one. It's where sudden insights, flashes of understanding, or creative breakthroughs happen, things that seem to bypass pure logic.
That aha moment.
Exactly, almost like a form of guidance that becomes available once your mind is properly prepared and aligned through the other principles.
Wow. Okay, that's quite a journey through the 13 principles.
It really is. So if we zoom out and try to capture the absolute core messages from Think and Grow Rich, what stands out?
Well, the biggest one, repeated constantly, is thoughts are things.
Everything starts in the mind. The desire, the belief, the plan, it all originates as a thought.
And specifically regarding wealth, he's very clear. Money is a byproduct.
Right. A byproduct of the right mindset, unwavering belief, and that definite purpose. It follows the internal alignment.
He also clearly identifies the main roadblocks: fear, doubt, and procrastination.
The enemies of success.
Mhm.
It keeps coming back to managing your internal state. And that powerful summary quote,
Riches begin in the form of a thought.
that really captures it. So why should someone listening right now really care about these principles from a book written decades ago?
Because fundamentally, it's a guide to mastering your own mind. It puts you in the driver's seat. It argues that by controlling your internal world, your thoughts, beliefs, focus, you can actually shape your external reality.
It shifts the power entirely to you.
Exactly. It's about aligning with your purpose and taking conscious control.
And you can see that empowerment reflected in those iconic quotes that everyone knows, even if they haven't read the book.
Like whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Such a powerful statement about potential. Imagination plus faith equals results.
And success comes to those who become success conscious.
Preparation, mindset, expecting it.
And maybe the most direct piece of advice: a quitter never wins and a winner never quits.
Pure persistence. Just keep going. Wow. What an incredible framework Hill laid out.
Truly foundational.
So, our goal with this deep dive was really to give you a solid handle on these powerful ideas, a shortcut to understanding this landmark work without maybe wading through every single page immediately. Hopefully, it felt more like a conversation, pulling out the gems.
And I think the key takeaway from Hill himself is that this isn't really a book you just read once and put down.
No, definitely not.
It's meant to be a lifelong manual, something you return to as you work on mastering your mind, clarifying your purpose, and, well, turning your intentions into actual results.
Whatever those results mean for you, whether it's income or impact or mastering a skill.
Any form of success you define.
So as you finish listening and go about your day, here's something to think about, a little provocation. Which one of these 13 principles really jumps out at you right now? Which one feels most relevant to where you are, what you're aiming for? And then consider, what's just one small, simple action you could take today, or maybe start doing daily based on that single principle? How might that one small, consistent step begin to shift things for you? What's the immediate next move? Something to mull over.